Hey guys, so I'm back with my second video. The video that I am going to be doing today is going to be called The Irony of a Fit Physique. Nowadays, social media is huge. Here we are. I don't think it's much of a surprise to anyone. There's tons of different outlets that people use, so there's Instagram, Facebook, etc. And I think although it's super useful obviously for a lot of people, there are some issues that can be associated with it, and just the fact that a lot of these sites are more specifically aimed towards imaging and just looking at photos. For example, Instagram, you're only seeing photos of people. And so I just wanted to kind of break down what I think are some misconceptions with what fitness and health really have become within the industry nowadays. So before I even made this video, I kind of asked myself what I believe fitness and health are, because I think it does vary for everyone and everyone has a different idea of what these things are. So I'll put at the bottom a couple definitions I found on Google for fitness. So take a look at the bottom here what fitness definition is, as well as health. For both of these, to me, I think they're one and the same, in my opinion. It's going to be different for everyone. I've always been someone who's involved in athletics and different weight training, and I just love to incorporate activity in my lifestyle. So for me, I associate a combination of physical ability, mental, emotional balance in all regards as health, or more specifically, I guess, just overall wellness in life. Whereas, as you saw, the definition of health has to do with just not having an illness or disease. And to me, I do think it's a little bit more than that, because I do think if you incorporate fitness in your life earlier on, it will influence you later on in life. And so I do think it's super important, and there's a lot of confusion around the idea of it nowadays. What drives me crazy out of everything, from a bodybuilding background and something that I'm passionate about, is that people on Instagram who are fitness models or their competitors, and there's all these comments being like, oh my god, I wish I can look like you, or I wish I can be that shredded all the time. And people don't realize what it entails to be at that level of conditioning, and that it's not healthy for you. I'd like to eventually do a different video regarding that topic in itself, but just to touch on it a little bit, when you're in that large of a deficit to reduce as much body fat as possible, women typically are supposed to be around 12% body fat minimum, men no lower than 8%, and in most cases when you're competing, both are below the standard for that. And because of that, there's a lot of different responses that the body has. So your cognitive functioning is affected, thermoregulation is affected, you're tired all the time, your strength decreases significantly, and people don't realize this. So I think there's just this huge contrast between what people visually and aesthetically believe is fitness and what internally it looks like. A lot of people aren't even aware that for some competitors, or anyone who's basically dieting down to that point of leanness, not only is it not maintainable, but there are some effects afterwards that can affect people. So there's some GI issues that people come with because they have sensitivities after from cutting foods out of their diet for so long, different hormonal imbalances. If you're taking different supplements, there's risks with that in itself. A lot of people aren't getting adequate nutrition for what their body needs. Frequently, people are overtraining in relation to what the energy that they're consuming and they're expending. And so I think it's just important for everyone to realize that fitness is not an appearance-based thing. There's a huge gap between what I believe is aesthetics, so what someone's looking like, and fitness and health. And I just think that people don't properly understand what health is anymore, because we're so used to using visual cues. So we're looking at pictures all the time, and these certain types of bodies have been associated with a certain type of life or a certain type of internal health, and that has actually nothing to do with it a lot of the time. I think one of my main pieces of advice, because of the fact that there's so many different things on the internet that people can come across, is I think in general it's just important to learn about your own body. So not even just like reading a book being like, oh, this is the anatomy of it, this is the physiology of it, which also is important, but to understand what works best for you. Everyone responds differently to everything. There's no one cookie cutter method that works for everyone. And so by taking the time to learn about how your body responds to things, so food, exercise, whatever it is, take the time to learn about it and figure it out. Because for me, the conclusion that I came to is that health and fitness is a feeling. It's a feeling that I associate with feeling strong and able, mentally clear, emotionally stable, and that's what it is to me. So don't focus so much on what you're seeing. Look a little deeper inside of you and figure out what works best for you. And also, just a quick shout out to basically anyone who keeps it super real on social media. I really appreciate transparency with people and that there is struggle in all parts of the process with everyone, and I think it's super important to acknowledge. Nothing comes easy, and everything takes time, and sometimes it takes multiple tries to get it right. So take your time, don't be discouraged, and just learn about yourself. So that's my rant for the day. It was lovely talking with you all again, and I hope to speak with you soon.